So I'm here on Connaught Road, just outside the Sun Yat-sen Memorial Park, and I just want to show you what the planting is like underneath this flyover. A lot of people rather optimistically design planting areas underneath flyovers, and it often fails. I mean, the only thing that's really surviving there, and it's just surviving, is Schefflera arboricola. Why don't we just zoom in for a minute so we look closer up. So we've got Schefflera. I'm not going to go over there. Schefflera arboricola, and then we got the Caryota mitis, which is just kind of hanging on in there. I mean, it's not really. It looks pretty grim. Nothing growing on the columns because the highways department won't let you grow anything on the columns, and they won't even let you. But we tried this under the greening master plan. We tried. They don't want self-clinging climbers because the self-clinging climbers can grow uncontrolled up into the soffits of the columns, where the platform of the highway sits on the columns. So they don't want that. So we said, okay, well, we'll have twining plants on some mesh. We can fix some mesh onto the columns, and you know, they can grow the plants, and the plants can only stay on the mesh. They can't get into the soffit. So they said, well, okay, as long as you maintain it and the mesh, right? So anyway, after much argument, we finally got LCSD and Highways to agree to maintain the plants, the mesh, column, everything. Finally, it got to who's going to maintain the bolts that fix the mesh onto the concrete column, and nobody would maintain the bolts. So that's why there's no green stuff growing up on the columns in Hong Kong, which is absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, that's the situation. There are lots of plants that can tolerate you know, low light levels, and there are lots of plants that can tolerate pollution, but the combination of pollution, low light levels, and no water, this is the critical thing. No water. If these areas don't get water, you know, regularly, it's dangerous to maintain them. So planting under flyovers is fraught with difficulties. This kind of environment is really, really difficult. Let's have a quick look over here. As soon as we go into the park itself, where you can get water points and where you can get people to maintain things, then we have a completely different situation.